Okay, so here's a real hunting video. When I say real, I'm talking about real life hunting, where you only have maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 evenings to hunt during the whole entire season. You don't have guides, you don't have herds of deer that you can choose from. You don't have endless hours to go plant food plots or to go hang 50 different tree stands or ground blind sets. No, this is real life hunting. For 90% of us who don't have 700 acres of plush river bottom land with deer and turkey flowing. No, this is real hunting, where you scrape and beg and plead. You close your eyes, you hold your breath, and hope that maybe you can find a 10-acre piece of land that your aunt owns, or another piece of land that so-and-so's uncle, who's a cousin of a distant relative, maybe will let you hunt on after he's done. So you've got, mop-up duty. So, this is what real hunting is all about. I've got about a 2-hour time frame here that I've got to drive to, get dressed, get out to my spot, sit down, and hunt before it gets dark. Real life hunting. And of course I'm following a grandpa who's going about 45 miles per hour, but that's okay. It's real life hunting. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll see you when we get to the woods. We've made it. I've got parked, gotten dressed, as you can tell. Yeah, we're at the same property that a couple years ago I killed that 68-inch 4-point. Pretty nice little deer. Shot him out of staying on the other side of the property, but we have since been banned from that part of the property. So that's a long story. We'll talk about that some other time. So I'm getting ready to walk in. And again, you're watching real life hunting. I did bump my scope a little bit. I think we'll be all right though. Probably won't even see a deer, so that's why we'll probably be all right. So wish me luck. We'll walk in here, see what we can find after I close all the doors. All right, we're walking in. Here we go. Now, I would be lying to you if I said we just got here and there's already deer in the field. I guess that doesn't happen in real life hunting. All right, I'm gonna cross this fence here. Yeah, it says private property, but I know the owners. So we're good. See you in a minute. Yeah, you probably expected me to go ahead and be sat down. I'm still walking. I've walked all the way. I'm not sure if you can see way back up there. Yeah, it might not look very far, but it's pretty far. So I'll try to finish and I'll sit down and then I'll be back. Okay, bye. Okay, I finally made it. As you can see, I'm just a tad hot, sweaty, and out of breath. But guess what? I'm sitting down. Let me show you the other side. Ain't it pretty? So, anyway, what we've got here is a piece of property that hopefully the deer will come out. See my hand? Hopefully the deer will come out. Usually it's right about dark. And when I say usually, that's dreaming. So we're gonna be quiet and maybe something will jump up, come out. Okay, so as you can see, still no deer.
but it's only been a few minutes. And I know on the other big game hunting shows, you know, they'll be in the stand or in their set for, 3 or 4 minutes, and boom, we've already got deer in the field. We've already heard movement. Well, I've heard a little bit of movement, but actually it's a couple of big old fat squirrels. So real life hunting, that's what happens. You hear a lot of squirrels, and you might even see some skunks, or you might even see a bobcat or armadillo, raccoons. A lot of times you don't see deer. I mean, that's just part of it. You just don't see deer. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing what you do a lot of times during real life hunting, is you sit and you wait, and you kind of look around, and then you look at your phone every once in a while, see what time it is, and that's about it. So as you can tell, I've got my setup here. See that setup? I'm looking down that way into a kind of an open field. Hopefully they'll be coming off. I'll show you. Hopefully they'll be coming off this tree line out into this field. And if they do, I'm going to do this. Pick up my gun, and I'm hopefully going to get a shot at one. I'm going to attempt to get one of those side shots of me looking out over my hunting grounds, and I'll put my binoculars up, I'll put my rangefinder, just get that real feeling. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I thought I heard something in the brush back there, so I got real quiet, and I turned around, and it was the wind blowing some leaves around. And then I saw a tail, and it was another squirrel, or it could have been that same one I saw earlier. Not real sure yet. Those things can be kind of tricky. But I do have a pretty good breeze coming through every once in a while. So what I did is I threw up a bunch of leaves to see which way the wind was blowing. So I've got a pretty good idea that it's blowing this way, towards kind of towards my face. So I'm hoping that the deer will come out and go into that wind before they smell me. But yeah, I don't have a clue. Okay, so I haven't had any action in a few minutes, so I thought what I'd do is try to do some calling. They do that a lot on those big game hunting shows. They call the deer, and almost always they'll make a call, or they'll do a rattling sequence, and a big old buck will come running through the woods. So I thought what I'd do is I would try to do some calling. I don't have any rattling horns, but I've got a good call here. It's the extinguisher call. And it's one of those that I saw on late night Outdoor Channel one night, probably 11:30, 12 o'clock. And this guy had a 30-minute show just all about this call, the extinguisher. And you've got 4 different calls that you can do: a little fawn, a doe, a small buck, and then a big buck. So I'm going to go ahead and do the big buck, since that's what I would like to get. I don't want to mess with anything small, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do the big buck. All you do is you slide it down to the big buck here, and then you make some calls. And what's supposed to happen, according to the video and according to the literature that they sent, so what's supposed to happen is when you do make this call, if there's a buck within range, they're going to hear that and they're going to come on in. So I'm going to give it a shot and see what we got. Here we go. Problem is, I'm not real sure how a big buck sounds totally. I've heard them on TV, and so I'm just going to try and mimic what I hear on TV and see what happens. Here, let's try it again. Let's see what happens. Stay tuned. Okay. All right. I'm going to whisper now because we've got some rustling behind us. So I'm going to see what we got back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn real slow, because in real life hunting, you got to turn real slow because these deer are not used to people. So I'm going to turn real slow and see if I can see what was rustling. Yeah, I thought maybe that last call that I made might have, brought in a big buck or something, or at least a buck that was maybe, I'm curious of what kind of sound that was coming from over here in these trees. But yeah, I guess it was maybe a squirrel or something. So we'll try again here in a little bit. Yeah, it's about 4:20, 4:25. So this is what they call bread and butter time. So I'll probably not video again until I am walking up on that big buck, or right before I'm getting ready to shoot. I'll go ahead and push record and see if I can get the shot, but no promises there. Okay. Oh, shh. No, just a squirrel. Just a squirrel. I saw you notice my fancy glove here. Yeah, oftentimes what happens in real life hunting is you only have so much time to hunt. It's usually a short amount of time. So what has to happen is you have to rush out of the house, throw your stuff in the truck, and when you get there you realize that you don't have any hunting gloves, or you don't have any gloves, period. Well, really the only pair of gloves you have is a pair of orange rubber gloves. Well, I think they look cool. I mean, they're hunter orange, sort of. But if your hands get kind of chilly, you gotta have something covering them. So I just pulled whatever I could find out of my side door of my truck, and happened to be these rubber gloves. And not real sure where I got them, but hey, they were there, so I had to use them. And so far they're pretty good. Problem is, I'm not sure if you can tell. I'll show you here in a second. I only have one. I couldn't find the other one. So when this hand gets cold, I just switch it and use it for the other hand. So you do what you can. Do what you have to do when you're real life hunting. Yeah, so saw several bucks tonight. A couple nice 10-pointers, some big bodied 8s, but yeah, I didn't find any that I really wanted to shoot tonight. And yeah, right. I can't even say that with a straight face. Real life hunting, I didn't see a deer one. So yeah, that's it. Hunting lights done. Hunting season's over for rifle, and that's about it. So see ya.